Alrighty, so there was this situation where a employee of GameSpot. It's a place where they do reviews of video games and they deal with all kinds of video game content. But one of their employees did a review of the game Grand Theft Auto, and it started some controversy. She, whatever. Never mind. We'll get to that. But the individual gave the game a 9 out of 10, and most outlets are giving it a 10 out of 10. But the problem people had with this person's 9 out of 10 was because of why she decided to give it 9 instead of 10. But we're going to just listen to real quick something that he had to say.
I'm trying to make this painless. You didn't have to do that. Let's get going.
Where do you begin talking about Grand Theft Auto 5? Do you start with the vast, varied, beautiful open world? Do you start with the innovative structure that gives you 3 protagonists you can switch between on the fly? Maybe you talk about the assortment of side activities you can engage in, or the tremendous number of ways in which you can go about making your own fun. Or perhaps you start by digging deep into the game's story problems, or its serious issues with women. GTA 5 is a complicated and fascinating game, one that fumbles here and there and has a strain of misogynistic nastiness running through it. But it also does amazing.
Alrighty, I'm gonna do something a little bit different since the context of this post is about gaming. I'm gonna do this over some this commentary over some gameplay, some Call of Duty Black Ops Deuce. But yeah, check out the link in the description box. That's to my other channel. It's a gaming channel where I do unboxings, reviews, what have you, and I do some gameplay commentaries of gaming news, whatever. But show me some love on that channel if you may, if you're a gamer as well. But we're gonna write out and speak on this situation. Alrighty, I said I was gonna do something different and give you some gameplay commentary. I'm playing that oh, here we go. Alright, I'm playing some domination on that Black Ops Deuce. Black Jesus. Check out that other channel. But so basically what happened was this she did a review of GTA 5. A lot of the fans didn't like its review, and honestly, I mean, I can understand the points why they disliked its review. Basically the whole misogyny thing, women thing was completely out of context. I mean, it makes no sense. The whole concept of this game is it's a parody of America. It's a parody of thug culture, gang culture, politics, everything you name it. It's making fun of it and it's mocking it. And for him, he, she, it, whatever, to purposely pick out what it believes is misogyny and says that's a problem, it's silly to me. It's out of place and stupid. And you know, the she gave it a 9 out of 10. And in my opinion, the review gets a 9 out of 10 because the point of the females and the misogyny, that point, it has no place in the article or in the review. There's no point for it. So if you remove that aspect of the article or the review, it's fine. It's a non-biased. It pointed out the flaws with the characters as far as doing things that they wouldn't ordinarily do, but the innovation and some of the new things they've added to the game, like, it's all A+. And I'm not even a fan of the GTA series, and I don't even play it, but I can look at something that I might not be into and still give it its props without interjecting my own personal views into it. Now, a lot of people wanted this dude, she, him, it, whatever, fired because of its review. Now, I don't agree with the whole firing people because of their opinions thing. That's what leftists do. That's the world we live in. Juan Williams was fired because he said that if he was on a plane and some Muslims were with their garb on, he'd be nervous. And the man got fired for that. You know, I think it's ridiculous how, you know, people are, you know, in the last 2-3 years have been fired over their Facebook and Twitter posts. I just don't agree with that. I understand companies about making money, and if you say something and people are going to protest, they're normally going to go with the customers and the consumers. I get that, but I'm not about that life. You know, I can understand penalizing somebody if they do something stupid, you know, giving them an infraction or whatever, you know, demote them, what have you. But the whole firing people for doing their job, you know, or giving their own opinion. Now, my issue with this situation is this leftist feminist she was allowed to do that, and everybody else won't get that pass. Like, say if a guy was reviewing something and he was pointing out misandry in it, and you think that his boss or people will not have an issue with his review if he pointed out things that females are actually doing wrong, or what it's portraying in a movie or whatever the content may be. Now, one thing I noticed is a lot of white knighting going on, which is kind of odd because I don't think everybody understands or knows that the chick who this article or this post is about is not even a chick, it's a dude, it's a transgender dude. And that was confusing as hell when I first was about to do this video, because I didn't, at first I was, reading all the articles, and I read all the people who were, there's so many articles defending this dude, she, it, whatever, and I finally read, his review, and I'm like, all right, whatever. And I was like, let me look at a picture first, because I was going to put a picture in the video, and I looked, I'm like, oh, snaps. It looks like dude from Jay and Silent Bob, the stoner dude, and that's exactly one of the criticisms that this transgender person's be getting. But that's not even the case. I don't know, like, I'm reading this one article by Ben Pratt, which is white knighting for this, but basically he starts off his article with, "This is why the world thinks video games are made for little boys." So because people didn't like her review, and they want to change that or to voice their opinions, which they have the right to do apparently, but he feels some type of way about it, because you're supposed to care about the misogyny or the females not having a head character. Now, one thing that bothers me too is that, like, this whole let's tell people how to write their books and their movies and their video games, that part is really bothering me, because, like, I'm not even a fan of Tyler Perry rather. He in his movies, just like The Temptation, the movie he just came out with not that long ago, it was trash. But in the movie there was a scene where feminists didn't like it because they said it perpetuated rape, or because the chick said no but she really was saying yes, and he did it anyways. But they didn't like that, so they protested for that. And then there's a situation with Rick Ross, and how you ain't even know what scenario, and they protested Reebok. Again, I'm not a fan of Rick Ross or Tyler Perry, but I do believe that how do you get where do you draw the line between telling people what they can and cannot write, or what they can and cannot say in their songs, in their music, in their video games? The directors, this whole game, the whole concept is satire, right? The whole point of GTA is making fun of everything about society and life, and it comes at everybody. It has all kinds of stereotypes, from the gangbangers to the poor trash white dude in the trailer, to the rich white dude who's married with kids, and all that. Like, it comes at everybody in the game. But for this transgender person to come at this one aspect, to me, I don't think that was not done on purpose. She knew what he was doing. Do I think he should be fired for it? No, but he knew what he was doing. And my issue is, why does he get a pass? Everybody else is not going to get a pass to do this with their giving their own personal ideologies. Like, again, I couldn't read something or watch something that I don't agree with the person who wrote it, and I can say that was a good movie, or even though I might not agree with the propaganda that they're putting in it, if that's the case. It reminds me of the situation with Chef from South Park, how he had no issue coming at and making fun of every religion, creed, group, ideology out there, but as soon as they made fun of Scientology, he felt some type of way about it, and he wanted to quit, and he left the show because of that. Like, that's the nonsense that we're dealing with right here. But I'm gonna read some of this guy's article, Ben Pratt, this white knighter. I don't know if he's gay too, I don't know what's going on, but I do believe that this person who wrote the article knew Caroline Pratt or whatever, but you're a dude, why do you have a girl name? Oh, never mind, it's confusing. But basically, he starts off the article with the whole, "This is why the world thinks that video games are made for little boys," simply because these men didn't like the review, because it had no place. The review should have got a 10 out of 10, period. And I'm not even a fan of the series, it should have. And the issue with this feminist fruitcake person dude was that he was defending women. The irony of all that, out of all the jokes and all the, satires and coming at people, and it makes fun of more than anybody, or it comes at or paints in a negative light more than anybody. Yet this he she do didn't mention it was men. The game portrays men as violent, rape, murderers, robbers, pimps, drug dealers, all that. Yet for some reason the misogyny part is the only part that got any clout. But I'm gonna read some of the article. It says a petition has been started and thankfully subsequently pulled on a change.org for the shacking of a GameSpot writer who gave it a 9 out of 10 of the Grand Theft Auto review, highlighted the game's questionable attitude towards females. So again, every GTA has been the same thing. This is nothing new under the sun. The GTAs have been the way they are. Even other games that have copied off of GTA, it's the same over the top, silly, stupid stuff that's just a glorification of all things that are bad, and it makes fun of it, it mocks it, whatever. But it's deeply frustrating when its center and supporting male characters are flawed and complex characters with a few extreme minor expectations. GTA 5 has room for women expect to portray them as strippers, prostitutes, long-suffering wives, humorous girlfriends, and goofy new age feminists were meant to laugh at. That's what the guy wrote about the game. Like, that's the part of his review that made no sense, that had no business in the review. It had nothing to do with the game. It was clearly your feminist leftist agenda to attack this one game that has been doing the same thing since its existence, and it's pretty profitable for doing it. This game has made $8 billion, or I think it made $1 billion in 3 days. So apparently the writers, the marketers, people who were doing what they're doing knew what the hell they were doing. And this if you could, of course the game has flaws in it. Like, I listen to other reviews and they talk about the texture issues and those things get overlooked because they're so intrigued with the dialogue, the characters, the missions, how all the characters relate with each other. Like, all that, the negative things about the game are overlooked because there's so many positives. And I get the frustration with the people who want to get this dude fired, which again, I don't agree with the whole firing people because they state their opinion. But however, I do understand that this individual has an agenda, and it was done by design. Alright, so continue reading. Characters are constantly spout lines glorifying male sexuality while demeaning women, and the billboards and radio stations of the world reinforce the misogyny with ads that equate manhood with sleek sports cars while encouraging women to purchase a fragrance that makes them smell like a female dog. This is a bunch of misogyny undercurrents in our society, but there's no satirical one, with nothing new in the game, with nothing in the narrative to underscore the insane and how wrong this is. And all the game does is reinforce and celebrate sexism, the beauty of cruising around the sun-kissed Los Angeles, Los, I guess that's the fake city, making supposed to be Los Angeles hills, while listening to Higher Love by Stevie, and turns sour really quick when a voice comes on the radio and talks about using women as a urinal. So again, this individual must be a fruitcake as well, and a feminist too, a male feminist, because his whole focus is the females. This entire game is portraying men in a negative light. They're the robbers, the criminals, the thieves, the murderers. Yet his issue is the women are portraying a negative image. So the men being negative, that's not an issue. We don't care. That's standard, right? But the females in this game, in his opinion, being a stripper or a prostitute or just being stupid, that's bad, right? And these are men. This is a man writing this article. I don't get that. No one is denying that GTA is anything other than a fantastic game. At least he references the she that wrote the review, but all of her obvious and absolute correct. And furthermore, they absolutely have a place as a writer in the game. Sadly, everyone does not agree. Now he puts a bunch of the comments. This is what the leftists do. They they take the comments and say, see, this is what they feel about his review, and this is why we need to shame them because they gave their opinions on the he she's review. So it's a problem, whatever. So I don't know, I don't get this. Now I guess this author saying that because there's so much negativity in the game, there's no undertone, there's no canceling it out. Are you really looking for some moral barometer from a video game like GTA? Like, everything about that game is opposite of that. I'm not even into games like this. Like, I don't play Saints Row. Well, I do own the third one, but I haven't even played it yet. And games like that, they just don't get my interest. I'm more into military shooter type games like the one you're watching right now. I'm not really into the whole drug dealing, cartel robbing, stealing, killing, running from cops thing. That's just not games that I'm into. But that's what that game is about. So in context, I can understand why it is what it is and why it's so popular, and why it gets the attention that it does. But and it's not for children. The game is rated M for mature. It's for kids. It's not for kids at all. Will kids get a hold of it and play it? Will some parents give it to them? Will some parents actually use the game as a teaching tool to their kids? That's their business. Whatever, it's gonna happen. Yeah. But the whole nonsense of we need to make these games point out misogyny or correct it or whatever. Like, if you want to do that, you do that. And if you want to voice your opinion about that, do that on your own time. But the female, he, she, whatever, gave it a negative view, or gave it 9 out of 10 simply because of that aspect. So you're telling the writer, the directors, whoever wrote the game, whatever vision they had, you're saying, I'm penalizing you because you didn't, it's not leftist enough in ideology, and it's not giving enough females any heroic views or roles in the game. So I'm going to penalize you because of that. The game is cool and a great game, but because I don't like what I feel is misogyny, what I think is misogyny, just because, even though everything in the game paints men in a negative light, I'm going to point out, even though I'm not a woman, because you're not, you're a guy, either you have an XX or an XY, and you feel some type of way about the way the game treats women, even though you were born a man. And even this author, this guy, is a dude as well. I don't get that though. Wouldn't you be more upset as a man that it portrays you in this negative light than the females? I'm just lost on that situation. But I'm gonna read some of the comments to why what he posted is why he thinks these people are wrong for voicing their opinion about the author of the review's opinion. As much as I'm fine with a 9 score and the review is pretty good, but in my opinion, I don't see why misogyny is the reason to downscore it. It's something that happens in the real world, and it's a real problem. The game is an 18, so why can't it show that? I guess that means 18 and older. It's like downscoring it for having blood. Someone called it before that she would drop the score because of the female inequality reasons. Guess they were right. Again, I don't think all the people know that she's not a she, it's a dude. It's a he, she. Playing it right now, it's a 10. This review is prejudiced and has clouded her opinion of what otherwise is a masterpiece. I think it's unfair to drop a score based on your own political, moral issues, and I think that's what the problem is. And that's why I say the dude who wrote the article review knew what he was doing. Did it on purpose. He tried to use his platform as his job to be some type of an activist and put some type of propaganda in the game. And the fans of the game don't want to hear that. They don't want that involved in their game. And it's true. Like, again, I don't even play the game, and I can understand the game should be 10 out of 10. I'm not a fan of GTA at all, and that's common sense. The game should be a 10 out of 10. And I'm not gonna, picking the whole concept of I'm gonna pick with the misogyny again. That's like critiquing a blind person, on a eye vision test. Like, that's stupid. It's pointless. Why? The whole game is full of all kinds of satire. It has all kinds of stereotypes in it, and to only knock one thing that you felt some type of way about, that makes no sense to me. In a situation is, are we going to start going to every avenue of entertainment, and if you feel some type of way about it, you're gonna give it a negative review or say that's bad because it doesn't stand with your ideology? I just don't get that. Another comment says I don't let me see, drop score between issues. I don't care about the 9 because it's always subjective. It's okay to do it, find perfect game. It's okay, but there's never really a perfect game. But I think the negative about misogyny is totally stupid. I find it just as stupid saying that it glorifies violence and it transforms people into psychos. Some let personal opinions mud their ability to be objective. That's absolutely true. Politically mudded. Is this serious? Have we ever played GTA before? It's 9 is a great score, but it's extremely a dumb comment. And I think that by saying it's politically mudded, meaning it's not leftist enough in ideology, it's not PC friendly. It's not at all. So I guess because of its secularism of the game, they wanted she wants it to be more leftist in agenda. I guess I'm assuming. I know in GTA 5 it did it put in I guess another download content. It put like, I guess his name was Gay Tony. So they I guess they were being diverse and putting in gay characters in that game. So the homosexual was also the killer, the rob, the thief, the drug dealer as well. So I guess they were trying to be diverse in that situation too. But apparently they failed to do that in this GTA. Well, it's not too late because they still can have download content for the game. That's it. I'm leaving. I could care less about the score. These reviewers are what's annoying to me. I wouldn't care if the presence as an opinion based off a review, but it's coming from Weeks. All GameSpot is going to do is defend this review as inspired truth. Beth will take your 9 out of 10 score back. I'm gone. Politically mudded and profound misogynists. Why GameSpot keeps judging games using this kinds of shit? It's a game. Don't give me this political lecture or philosophy class marked down because of her personal views. It's not a hers to do. It isn't GTA designed to piss people off like that. The whole point of this is political satire, which is true. And this is a 9. Then redo the GTA review. Redo the GTA 4 review. Haha, Prejudice review. Wouldn't bother reading it. IGN reviews is excellent. Great review, details, and very informative, but honestly, leave the profound misogynistic part out of it. It's a GTA game, and that's what I've said from the get-go. The review, apart from that part, is a good review of the game. It points out valid flaws in the dialogue of some of the characters, like I said earlier, and she didn't even go into the texture issues or things like that. The frame rate drops, which is an issue for true hardcore gamers. Okay, if you remove the whole political ideology and the feminist mumbo jumbo out the article of review, it's an okay review. It's not a bad review. It would be a 10 out of 10 review if you leave that out, and the review would be 10 out of 10 also. What else do you say? Politically muddy. Haha, Prejudice review of the motherboards. Great review, details informative, but honestly, and profound misogynistic point of the game should be left out. It's a GTA game, not a documentary on women problems. I care for women's problems IRL, not in game about 3 bad guys doing heists. Gone Home, 9.5 editor's edition, GTA V 9. So according to GameSpot, the Spot's own idea of the game score, Home, is better than GTA 5. But since it's a subjective view and it doesn't really matter, this isn't really any point of reading these reviews anymore. And Caroline, please, for your own sake, stop reviewing games that isn't in the tone of your rather extreme feminist views. Since when do we review games based on their this sort of things? Keep your personal vendettas out of your reviews. Even though I'm being paid to unbiased write a review, I'm going to dock this game as a point due to personal bias. It's like if I docked a point because I can't shoot animals and a shooting game is wrong, which the game never mentions as being wrong. She has no business reviewing a game as controversial as this, as she's going to nitpick trying to be offended like this. Again, they keep calling this chick a she, and they don't even know this is a dude. The petition, that petition entitled GameSpot staff fire Caroline, was countered by one of its GameSpot staff. Do not fire Caroline. Does not lessen the tragedy that a person or people were and once and ceased by the opinions. What the hell is he talking about? That they felt it was a proper and a proper reaction to call, inappropriate reaction to call for an actual human being that has family and feelings and kitten puppies and rainbows in the real world be fired from their job. So this is a hilarious thing about this. Leftists are the main ones who call for people to be fired when they don't like what a person has to say in their content in their movies. They protest them and try to make them put in it what they want in it. That's exactly what the chick is doing in a different kind of way. You don't like what the people who wrote the game or whatever, so you're trying to tell them, well, you're wrong for that, and you're making it publicized. You're getting attention from this. This individual's reviews have never gotten this much attention ever, but because you interjected your feminist mumble jumble, now everybody's paying attention to it, and everybody's defending this person, ignoring the fact that this is an agenda. They're doing it on purpose. Like, I can look at Hollywood, and there's a lot of movies that I can't support because they do that. Now, I can't knock their hustle for doing that. They're using a tool, pop culture the left has in their back pocket. They control this younger generation in the culture with the music and movies and entertainment. They do. I can't knock their hustle for utilizing their, what they had, But if, the last movie, I think the movie In Time with Justin Timberlake, that movie was complete leftist, Occupy Wall Street propaganda in that movie, right? It was, they did that on purpose. Now, I know what they're doing. Now, the sad thing is a lot of people don't understand that. It's not just a movie, it's a statement, it's propaganda. And all movies have it in it, whether it's left or right, period. But I understand that, but a lot of people don't, and they look at it and say, oh, it's just a movie, blah, 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 let it go. This femifascist, confused dude knew what the hell he was doing, and the people, again, I don't think the person should be fired, but I do believe that I would penalize her for doing it, because you're bringing negative attention. Not penalize her like I would just be like, yeah, this is myself and say, this is this own person's review, and if you have issues with it, deal with that person. I'm not gonna bring that attention to my company or me. Alright, so this guy, this white knight for the the crossdresser, female dude, whatever, he ends off his article saying, how on earth can the industry hope to escape the stigma held by the worldwide and the media when this is how the core audience chooses to conduct itself? Perhaps the only visible strategy is to stop making games that appeal to this audience altogether in an effort to free itself from their vile influence. So therein lies the issue, right? So the core audience didn't like the review. They like what's in the game. The thing made $1 billion. It made 800,000 in the first day. It made $1 billion in 3 days. So this writer's telling the people, the creators of GTA, to forget their core fan base that made them $1 billion. The game only cost $250 million to make. They've made their money back and then some already in the game, and it's not even been a week yet. But this individual's ideology is forget your core audience and make more PC trash female empowerment games that your core audience is not going to buy and it's not going to make you any money. Rid yourself of these people so you can make gun games for us feminist minded people. Like, does that make any sense to you? That that's his solution for GTA to do, or Rockstar is the company, the publisher. Quit making games that interest your fan base. Make games for the whole futuristic PC bullcrap. And that's, you know, what they're trying to do, though. They want to take things that are popular and, you know, avenues that they haven't taken over yet. They have the education system, they have the movie industry, they have the music industry. They're trying to get the music industry, I should say. They don't have it completely yet. They don't have rappers yet. Once you start seeing all these rappers coming out for female equality and gay issues, then you know they're gonna have the rap industry on lock too. They're getting there, but they're not quite yet. They even have the black church with this PC leftist ideology nonsense, all that, right? I think they're gonna pretty much have the Catholic Church too, whatever. So I think because GTA is a secular game, and they just don't like that it's not leftist enough in ideology. They don't like that it's not, it hasn't been invaded enough by feminist ideology. And until that happens, they're gonna keep complaining, keep crying, and they're gonna keep taking these liberties and giving their biased opinions when it has absolutely nothing to do with the game. Leave that out of the damn game, and the review is a 10 out of 10. All that feminist mumble jumble is a distraction and a deflection, and I understand why the people who like this game are upset about it.